Namaskar everyone. Today we are going to start with the last chapter in economics, that is globalization. It's quite interesting chapter provided we all take interest in this one, and it is something that deals with your interest where you love the area, right? More modernization, more techniques, right? More gadgets. All those are just because of this policy that our government adopted in the year 1991. So, when we talk about globalization, when we go back in the year 1980s, 70s, or before 90s, and we imagine the picture, the lifestyle, the food, the clothing, totally different. Somewhat like this Maruti 800 without AC, Ambassador, that times family car, another, right? So you can see the design, the color, and the features that they possessed. No doubt of that time they were the best. Comparing about the clothings, so this is how somewhat the clothing of 90s were used, or the people used to wear. You can see the various types of clothes during the 90s, and then you can see the clothes that were worn in 2000, or the latest one that we have today. We can see the vast difference in the style, right, of the clothes. Talking about, okay, when globalization was not there, even the games that we generally used to play were outside, right, or outdoor games. People in the school, right? Then here you can say nargol, gilli danda, playing with the tire, jumping with the help of the branch into the river or pond, the boat, and little bit of technology, that is video game. So these were the gadgets, we can say, or the games. Normally we emphasized more on physical games, outdoor games. Today's games, you can say Mortal Kombat, Mario Kart, PUBG, Farmvilla, Candy Crush Saga. These are the latest game that we have today with high graphics, right? More megapixel, and all are indoor games. So the effect that they have on the mind, on the eyes of the people, or especially our children, is beyond imagination. The present pandemic, COVID 19, is going on, and we find most of the students busy in this particular game, that is PUBG. Though the teachers, the school management is taking lot of pain, right? As it is said, the schools buildings are closed, not the education. The teachers taking the pain to make the videos, who themselves were not so fluent in this technology. They learn, they make, and what is the result? 30 to 40% students, they see these videos. Rest, they are busy with such games. So no doubt it is good. We have the development of brain in this. But if it is taken positively, and that is what is not happening. Before this, we had the whale game, blue whale, where the task was assigned, and we have seen how people in the different part of the world they were committing suicide because the task that was given by the game was such. So all these are the side effects. When we talk about multinational corporation or companies, right? So MNCs, it stands for multinational corporation. For 1 mark, it may be asked what is MNC. So MNC means multinational corporation, and normally they have business. They own or control production in more than one country. So we can say these companies they have business in more than one country. So here we have few examples. So top 10 MNC IT companies in India. So Tech Mahindra we have, Wipro, Tata, HCL, Infosys, Mindtree, Mephisis, Oracle, Cyient. These are the top 10 IT companies and MNC company keep in mind. Then we have few international MNC company. We have Coca-Cola, Google, Samsung, Mastercard, Yahoo, Nikon, YouTube, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, Pepsi, etc., etc. So it means these countries, they have a business, they have their production unit in more than one countries, maybe 2, 3, 4 or 5. So that's why they are the MNC company, and they have the power, the financial power that they have is they can purchase the countries of Africa or even the Asian countries by giving 100% cash. That much rich or wealthy these MNC companies are. They are, we can say, the factor that affects the share market of the world. They may take any share from the ground level to the high level and from high level to ground level. That much influential these companies are. So you can see the world map, the various countries, they are the part of this world situated in one or the other part. And how? Because of globalization, the world has become so small, what we call it as Vasudev Kutumbakam. Now we move further with a very interesting question. So here I have two situations for you. Situation number 1, okay, when we have a business, right, in which case we will earn more profit or our business will have more turnover in a year. So case number 1, carrying out production at one place. It means if our business is there, we carry out all the production unit at one place. In that situation, we will have more profit, more turnover. Or in situation number 2, when we have the production unit at a different part of the country or different part of the world. So tell me kids, in which situation you find that profit will be more? In situation 1 or situation 2? Yes, I'm damn sure you will go with situation 1. And I know what your arguments will be. Sir, if all the units are at one place, there will be no transportation cost. If any demand is there, very easily it can be transported or we can meet the demand. I won't say you are incorrect. Partially you are correct. Right? We will have profit. But my dear, when we apply situation number 2, we will have more profit than situation number 1. Now you may ask, sir, क्या joke कर रहे हो आप? You are kidding with us. If we have the production units in different part of the country or different part of the world, the transportation cost will be more. Bringing the raw material from the different part of the country will be more. So, we do not agree with you, sir. You have the right to disagree. And that's how we have healthy communication. And finally, we try to convince each other. So, let's see how situation number 1 is more appropriate in this. And we can earn more profit. So, take an example. Okay, there is an MNC company in US. They are having their research center in USA. Here you can see the map of North America. In that, this is your Canada, this is your USA, and here you can see the Mexico. So this US based company is having their research center in their country. I am saying only research center. So whatever the research they are doing, whatever the modification they are doing in their goods or the equipments, that is carried out in their country, that is in home country. Then their manufacturing center is in, I hope you are in a position to identify this country. See, somewhat familiar? India? And the neighboring country? Yes, China. So this US based company, MNC company, they have their production unit in China. See, millions and millions of kilometers away from US, they have their production unit in China. Now you may be thinking, sir, thousands kilometer away and production unit here, so from there they will send the raw material. समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. Let me explain you. You know, China is world's largest populated country and is well known for producing the cheapest good in the world. Right? So when we compare the production done by the China and by any other country of the world, China produces the goods in huge bulk quantity. Right? Let me give you one example. Now we have started boycotting Chinese goods. Why? No doubt reason is for the attitude that they are showing. Right? And why they are having more turnover from India? Because their production is quite cheaper than Indian goods. See the case of Chinese toys, Chinese electronics. At a time they are producing in lakhs and lakhs of units. And we are producing hardly in thousands. So the price of per unit becomes very less. So because of cheap raw material, cheap labors, China is the main producing center for the US based industry. So here you can see the automobiles being produced, how in assembly line at a time so many numbers of cars are produced. You can see everywhere. So this is possible where cheap labor and cheap raw materials are available. Then finally, once the parts are produced in China, all the parts are transported back to assembling in Mexico, right? And European countries. So this is, we have the Europe. So these spare parts are sent to Europe and even to Mexico. And finally, at both the places, the spare parts are assembled and finally the final product is ready. So here you can see how the parts are being assembled. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5, and finally the finished product. So here we have America, here we have China, then again back to Mexico and European country. So almost taking the tour or exploring the world in this production unit. And still this is not the end. One more thing. They have their customer care in India. Right? So again, back to Asian countries. Why? They know very well. I can't spell success without you. Right? So their customer care center is in India. The reason is quite simple. The engineers of India are superb, highly qualified, and well experienced. The English that Indian people possess is quite understandable and far better than any Asian country. That's why even in the customer care center, most of the people who are hired are Indians. So, taking flashback, research center in USA, production in China, assembling in Mexico and Europe, and finally customer care in India. So, the company is getting the best of each and every country that can provide. And for your knowledge, the profit margin in this method is more than 60 to 70% than the option 1. The profit margin is 70 to 80% when the MNC company, they have their different units in the different part of the world. Now few terminologies before we proceed further. Many of you are familiar about them, but once again a quick revision for that. So first we have the market. These terminologies normally we have learned in geography chapter number 7, lifelines of national economy. So market, it means place where exchange of goods or services takes place. कोई भी जगह जहां हम गुड्स का एक्सचेंज कर ले, वो प्लेस हमारे लिए मार्केट हो जाती है. सो राइट नाउ आई एम सिटिंग एट होम गिविंग यू ऑर्डर. ओके, मेरे घर पे जो है 10 LCD कंप्यूटर्स भिजवा दीजिएगा. वहाँ ऑर्डर हो गया, मैंने पेमेंट कर दिया. For me, my home is the market, and for them, their office is the market. But generally, we have the thinking or ideology. Market means एक जगह जहाँ सब इकट्ठा होते हैं और buying and selling होती. No doubt that is correct. But broader meaning of market means anywhere from where you deal with the goods or services or buying and selling takes place, that is called as market. Second, trade, व्यवसाय, धंधा जो हम कहते हैं. तो exchange of goods among people, states और nation, यानी वस्तुओं का ले बेच, आदान प्रदान, वो दो व्यक्ति के बीच में हो जाए, दो राज्यों के बीच में हो जाए, या दो देश के बीच में हो जाए, उसे हम ट्रेड कहते हैं, उद्योग कहते हैं. इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड यानी अंतरराष्ट्रीय बिजनेस जिसे हम कहते हैं. सो ट्रेड बिटवीन टू nations or more than two nations is known as international ट्रेड. जैसे इंडिया अमेरिका का, इंडिया रशिया का, इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया का, इंडिया जापान का, इंडिया इजराइल का, तो ये इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड हो गया. इन्वेस्टमेंट यानी कोई भी बिजनेस हम शुरू करते हैं तो इसके बिना पॉसिबल नहीं है. दैट्स व्हाई इन कॉमर्स, इन बिजनेस, कैपिटल इज कॉल्ड एज ब्लड ऑफ बिजनेस. यानी जैसे हमारे शरीर में खून के बिना हम जीवित नहीं रह सकते हैं, राइट, कंटिन्यूसली पंपिंग होता रहता है ब्लड का, प्योर ब्लड का, उसी तरह बिजनेस को जिंदा रहने के लिए कंटिन्यूअस इन्वेस्टमेंट, कैपिटल की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है. और अगर कैपिटल नहीं तो बिजनेस नहीं. सो मनी स्पेंट टू बाय एसेट्स लाइक लैंड, मशीन, बिल्डिंग्स, machineries, tools, etc. Foreign investment. So as the word suggests, foreign and investment means investment that is done in our country by any other country. Say America investing in India, Japan investing in India. So the money that is given by the American or American company investing, that is known as investment. So investment made by MNC is known as foreign investment. So these are few terminologies we should be quite clear before we proceed further.